Welcome to Dr. Deepa Dhake's NEET Biology, and from this session we will begin with the new unit for class 11, that is third unit of class 11, cell and its structure. In this unit basically three chapters are there. The first chapter for the unit cell, the unit of life, that we will begin from today's session. After that the biomolecules and then the cell division is there. So first we go through the cell, the unit of life. Now students, you all are knowing the cell is the fundamental structural and functional unit of life. Secondly, most important unit for your 11th class exam as well as for the students who are preparing and aspiring for the NEET exam. For the NEET, this is one of the most important units. Secondly, biology अगर आपको strong करना है, so for the entire 11th and 12th class biology, this is the conceptual unit. If the concepts of cell division and biomolecules are clear to you, then only the some of the questions easily you can attempt. So first we come towards the what is cell. When we study about the cell, so here you remember, as usually from lower classes you study about the cell, building blocks of body आप study कर रहे हैं, or we say the cell is a basic unit of life, but the correctly we say it is the fundamental structural and functional unit of life. So simply you remember what is cell. So cell, you remember cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Now why it is called the structural and functional unit of life? Because here you remember when we observe any of the individual, so when we appear the plant, when you appear any of the animal, birds, number of living beings in day-to-day life we appear in our surrounding. So whenever you appear all those structures, they are the multicellular and organized bodies. Plant body, multicellular and made up of tissue. Animal body, it is made up of different kinds of organ systems. So how these plant bodies and animal bodies are formed? So mainly here you remember, initially the single cell is there. This cell continuously divided, and upon division the cell will form a group of or mass of similar kinds of cell which are similar in origin, similar in structure and function. So the cell divide and will result in the formation of tissue. When tissue, different kinds of tissues or the specific tissue you remember responsible for a particular function. So tissues combine and tissue combine to form a particular organ. Respiratory organ, digestive organ, excretory organ. In case of animal we mainly study. So organs are formed, and now these organs combined or work in association with each other, and then the level of organization is formed, that is called as organ system. So here you remember cell will develop into tissue, tissue develop into organ, organ will develop into organ system, and then after this organ system will develop into the body of any individual, particular any kind of animal. So the body of that individual is made up of organ or organ system. So when we study about this body which is made up of organ system, so mainly you remember the body is animal body, because if we come towards the plant, so tissues are mainly responsible for the development of plant body. In plant, organ system is not developed, body of the plant is only made up of tissue. So whenever you observe, simply explain इसलिए कर रहे हैं कि whether you observe the plant or you observe the animal body, all they are multicellular, but predominantly their body is made up of a large number of cells which are arranged in the form of tissue or arranged in the form of organ and organ system. Now this cell, that's why called as the basic unit of life, because the body of animal or body of plant you can't be imagined without the presence of the cell. So just like any of the building, bricks are the basic fundamental unit. Similarly, in each and every body, the cell is the basic or fundamental unit. So that's why it is called the fundamental unit of life. So this is for the structure. If we come towards that, it's said as a functional unit. So if you come towards the plant cell, so in plant cell you remember the number of cell organelles are there: nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, mitochondria, that we studied one by one. But one of the most important cell organelle present in plant, that is the chloroplast. In general, I draw this structure because this is not the structure of plant cell. Only we explain here the plant cell show the presence of chloroplast, and because of the presence of chloroplast, the important function of the plant cell is to perform the process of photosynthesis. So question is that why the plant cell perform photosynthesis? Main reason, because of the presence of chloroplast, and this is the major cause that cell is called as functional unit, because inside the cell special compartments are present. These compartments of cell are called as cell organelles, and these cell organelles are associated with a specific kinds of function, and that's why the cell is called as structural and functional unit of life. Now when we study about the structure of cell and units of the cell, so here you remember we study some historical importance. So in historical importance, the first scientist was Robert Hooke. Robert Hooke, you remember, in 1665. Again, for NEET exam purpose, the scientist, their institutes belongs to which country as well as the year in which they show their scientific work. All these are important. So along with scientists, you pay attention. In some scientists, their countries are also mentioned from for which country they belong, so that as it is you prepare for your NEET exam. So Robert Hooke, you remember, in 1665 first time discovered one important thing. It discovered the dead cell. This part you remember, because the Robert Hooke discovered cell in cork piece, and cork piece, you remember, cork piece of oak tree. Remember the name of oak tree? Quercus subra. Scientific name. And cork, when the detailed studies are made after the invention of electron microscope, so it is clear cork is the originally cell wall, and the cell wall and bark structure of the plant. And bark, you all know, bark is a dead tissue of the plant. That's why you remember the Robert Hooke first time discovered the cell, but that cell was the dead cell. And where he discovered? So he discovered in oak tree, bark of the oak tree. And here you remember cork piece भी आप इसको कहते हैं, और bark आपको मिलेगा. So bark of the oak tree, or in cork piece of the oak tree, he discovered the cell for the first time. Important thing, he provided the first diagram of cell in his book Micrographia. So Micrographia is the book of Robert Hooke, and the cells of the whatever cells studied by the Robert Hooke, these cells gives the structure resembles with the comb of honeybee. So this much work you remember for the Robert Hooke. Now the second question asked from this introductory part of the cell, the first living cell were discovered by. So first living cell you remember, the second scientist is here, that is Anton von Leeuwenhoek or you simply remember A.V. Leeuwenhoek. First time discovered live cell or living cell. Leeuwenhoek discovered the first living cell in drop of rainwater, and the first living cell discovered by Leeuwenhoek is protozoa. You simply remember for objective purpose. After that, the number of scientists you study. So according to cell organelle, as we study about the cell organelles, organelle by organelle we study the number of cell scientists and their discoveries. One another important scientist in introductory part of this chapter is provided in NCERT. That was the Robert Brown. Robert Brown, you remember, made one important discovery in the history of cell, that was the nucleus. So for nucleus, you remember the nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown. Now we come towards the next important topic of the introductory part. Cell theory, you remember, proposed by Schleiden and Schwann, because this is one of the most important question, very easy question, direct question, that who proposed the cell theory. So Schleiden and Schwann, scientists are there who proposed the cell theory. So here you remember these two scientists belongs to two different countries. Malthus Schleiden, 1838, year are important here. So 1838, and the Schleiden was German botanist. So this part you remember, the German botanist Schleiden studied the number of plant cells and observed the body of plants and concluded that the plants are made up of tissue. This part you remember. The another scientist, Theodor Schwann, in 1839, and the Schwann was British zoologist. He observed that the body of animals is made up of multicellular structures or multiple cells, and secondly the organ systems are present in animal. Once he observed the animal cells and studied the animal cells, then the Schwann start to work on the plant cell and observe whether the similar to animal cell plasma membrane is also present in plant or not. So first thing you remember, the presence of plasma membrane or biomembrane in animal cell discovered by the Schwann. After that he observed the plant cell, and when he observed the plant cell, so he discovered over there that in addition to plasma membrane, the plant cells show the presence of cell wall. So the presence of cell wall even in plant cell also observed by the first time by the work of the Schwann. So this part you remember. Now after both the scientists, both the views of both the scientists are nearly similar, so combinedly Schleiden and Schwann proposed the cell theory. According to cell theory, first you remember the body of all living being is made up of cell. So that's why we are saying keep living being, all living being, though they are unicellular or multicellular, living beings are made up of cell, and the second, cell is basic unit of life. This part you remember. Now one drawback of the cell theory, that the cell theory never explain how the new cells are developed. Only according to cell theory, scientist states that the living beings are made up of cell. Either they are unicellular or they are multicellular. Secondly, the cell is a basic unit of life. But how the new cells are divided or new cells are formed, This is one of the major drawback, that cell theory not explain how the new cells are divided, new cells are formed or new cells are developed in plant and animal body. So third scientist is here. The third scientist is Rudolf Virchow, or R. Virchow states in 1855. He proposed one concept of omnis cellula e cellula. This part you remember, omnis cellula e cellula means, you remember, the new cells arises from pre-existing cells. So this part you remember, the Rudolf Virchow proposed the concept of omnis cellula e cellula. That means the new cells are arises from the pre-existing cell, and after that the view concept of the cell theory is further modified and the modern cell theory is proposed. According to modern cell theory, you remember, also called as the cell lineage theory, or it is called as doctrine of cell principle. So this part you remember, doctrine of cell principle, or it is called as modern cell theory or cell lineage theory. And according to that theory, you remember, the new cells are arises from pre-existing cell. This is the first view. Second, all living beings are made up of cell. And third, again as it is, the cell is a basic unit of life, or it is a fundamental structural and functional unit of life. So this is all the introductory part for the cell. When you study about the cell, so keep in mind, we mainly study the three major reasons in cell that we will continue in our next class. So whenever you study about the cell, so here you remember, we mainly study about the outermost boundary of the cell. That outermost boundary of the cell is called as plasma membrane or cell membrane. After that, you remember, inside the plasma membrane, protoplasm is present, and if the cell is eukaryotic, plant cell, animal cell, generally we say, if the cell is eukaryotic, so in addition to plasma membrane, another membrane is present. This membrane is called as nuclear membrane. Due to the presence of nuclear membrane, the nucleus show the definite shape and size, and the entire this structure that we study detail in nucleus is called as a nucleus. And in between the nuclear membrane and plasma membrane, this granular substance or colloidal substance is present, that is called as cytoplasm. So this is the common structure for the cell. That means whenever you use the term cell, predominantly you remember these structures are present, and this is the structure mainly for the eukaryotic cell. So this is all for today's session. Only introduction, we start with the introduction of cell. According to cell, individuals are unicellular, amoeba, paramecium, kingdom monera, protista, ये सब आपके unicellular से. And from plantae, fungi, we come towards the multicellular organization, and as the evolution proceeds slowly, multicellular individuals become more and more complex. So that we will study and continue in our next session. In next session, first we study the major differences, that what are the major differences between the prokaryote and eukaryote cell, and how one can differentiate between the eukaryote and prokaryote cell. So by that time, stay connected with Dr. Deepa Dhak's NEET Biology. The students who are new for the session, they kindly subscribe my channel, like my videos, and up to new session, work hard, revise older chapters which you studied for before the 1 month or before 15 days. Regular revision also required. अदरवाइज आफ्टर 2 months 3 months आपको उतना ही टाइम देना है जितना आपने उस टॉपिक को फर्स्ट टाइम दिया था. सो रेगुलरली रिवाइज द चैप्टर्स, रिवाइज द टॉपिक, and stay motivated and stay blessed.